All right, so it says use Newton's method, get a solution to this problem over here. And this is what they want, a solution of this, which looks pretty difficult, by the way, on this interval over here. Now, someone says, could I do this without using Newton's method? You can, but they did clearly state use Newton's method. The first thing I would do in Newton's method is I would solve this equation here for 0, because we're looking for a root. And I'm going to write that down for you. And I'll write it down as, you know what, I want to see if they've written it. No, they haven't. So I'll write down what I'm going to put over here. I'm going to put down f of x. I'm trying to find that out. And I want that to be 0. Let's write this down. So I'm going to solve this equation for 0. I'm going to say 0 equals 3 cosine. Oh, I'm going to write a little differently. And don't worry about this. I wonder why I'm doing it. I don't like what I'm going to say. 0 equals 5 sine x minus 3 cosine of 2x. Let's see if I did that right. Yeah, I subtracted, 3 cosine 2x from both sides. So really what I'm looking to do is I'm looking to get the 0 of this function over here. Let me say I'm going to write this down for you. And I'll write in stages for you. So I want to write f of x down. F of x is going to be equal to 5 sine minus 3 cosine of 2x. I'm going to write its derivative down. And that's going to be 5. And looking at the sign, derivative sign, pretty easy. It's cosine of x. And this one over here is going to be plus, because derivative of cosine is minus sine. So I'm going to get sine of 2x. And then derivative of 2 is 2, and 2 times 3 is 6. All right? This is an important thing to write down. Now, someone says, how do you get a guess? There's many ways to do it, but I do know my guess is between these two numbers over here, and that's between 0 and pi over 2. So my guess has got to be there. So what I want to claim over here, what I would do is I would graph these two functions out. So I would graph y equals 5 sine x. I'd use a computer to do it, by the way. And I graph y equals 3 cosine of 2x. Let me go over that with you. And I'm looking at it. And again, I'm gonna label it. I'm using the computer to do that though, and I will show you this when we go to the computer to do this problem over here. This graph is y equals. I'm talking about this graph here. Let's take a look. Well, that's gonna be the sine one, so I'll write that down. That's 5 sine of x. And then I got another graph, this graph over here. And what's that going to be? That's going to be y equals 3 cosine of 2x. What am I doing? I'm looking between where x is 0 and pi over 2. So I graph this thing only between 0 and pi over 2. Pi over 2 is like 1 point something. All right? Actually, I went beyond that. But here's the deal. I'm looking at it, and I'm wondering what would be a good initial guess over here. Well, I see the 1. And if I looked at that, I'm going to say 0.2, 0.4, 0.6, 0.8. So you get the idea. And I'm looking at this thing over here, and I got to be honest, looking at it, I'm going to say 0.4 something at least, right? I want to just look at the guess that's provided over here, by the way, which is this one over here. And that's a good guess, by the way. Now, someone says, well, what if I guess something different than that? It's still going to work in a problem like this. All right, so let's go through it. And again, I'll post a video of me doing this. So what I would do, I would write down, my initial guess. What's my initial guess? 0.42. Again, looking at the picture, yeah, it seems reasonable to me. It's about 0.42. Then I'd say, what's x1? And no, I'm not going to compute it by hand. x1 would be x naught minus f of x naught. That's right there. I got to do that computation. Yeah, it's pretty tough to do it, but a computer can do it pretty quickly. And then I divide by f prime of x naught, and I'd get this number over here. Again, I will post a video of me doing that. Thank you.